Crystal Burrows is a trailblazing entrepreneur with a heart of gold and an iron will. This dynamic businesswoman has spent decades empowering others to find financial freedom and live their dreams. And she won't rest until every aspiring woman has the tools and chance to build a bright future. And Crystal is with us here. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Excellent, thank you. So, what was it that inspired you to become an entrepreneur focused on financial empowerment?
I was growing up and I really wanted to help people, hence I have a degree in counseling. I realized that, going the traditional path of working a 9 to 5, I wasn't going to be able to impact as many people as I possibly could because, I would only be dealing with people for whatever particular company I will be working for. So I decided that if I get out there, face my fears and the fear of not getting a check every 2 weeks and just bet on myself, then I know I could truly do it, especially if I'm walking in my purpose and my passion.
Now, you have a goal of empowering 100,000 female entrepreneurs, which is truly ambitious. So, what strategies do you have in place to achieve this milestone?
Well, what we're doing now, joining amazing companies like UIG, and being able to just really get out there on every social media platform to be able to touch as many women as I possibly can. So, doing things like we're doing today and going forward in the future, that's going to be the only way
Yeah.
that we can accomplish a feat this big. But I am so confident then that I can actually do it. People will say, "Oh, I want to touch 1,000 lives or 5,000." No, think about it. There are millions and millions of women and families on here. So I think that's just a very small portion of the population that I could actually try to touch.
And as part of empowering women, you've set up your initiative, Leah's House, which is changing lives. So, could you tell us more about it and how it started, and I suppose, and the impact that it's had on the lives of women and their families?
Leah's House came to me about 3 years ago. I was just really thinking about what I could do to really, help women. I was thinking one of the things that, like, when I first thought about it, is, I had to go out there, and I was lucky enough to know people who were in business and that could give me great business advice and things of that nature and could help me get over my fears and what I could do when I face certain things. So I was like, why can't I give that back to other women? Why can't I give them, the tools that they need to first, because one of the biggest parts of Leah's House is to having like an entrepreneur library, so to
Yeah.
speak, or a play or a resource center where they can learn about different businesses. Because people think, I want to start a business one day, but they don't know what. They don't know the steps. They don't know what to do. So that keeps them from doing what they want to do. So I thought that if I could pretty much do that, provide those resources about all things entrepreneurial, all things of starting their business and how to get to those steps, then they can, obtain that goal of home ownership or obtain the goal of, making sure that kids go to college or whatever goal they have, then they can do that through entrepreneurial um, um, different tactics like that. So that's where I thought about it. So I put it into existence and just started working with as many people as I possibly can, and here we are today. And so I'm ready for it to just be an even greater impact.
And with Leah's House, what are some of the most inspiring success stories that you've witnessed through it?
Really working with women that I could think of a story of one person in particular. She had a dream of owning an event center. And so just working with her, and she worked with me actually in one of my companies. And she said, if you just teach me how to do this, then I can get this event center, and then I can buy my own home, and then I, do all of these different things. So to this day, she has accomplished so much. She got the event center, eventually turned it into a group home, which it is now. Now she's working on her second group home. She bought her own home, So, I mean, I have plenty of stories like that where women, I gave them the tools to go out there, start their own business. They made the money they needed to make, and they have just continued to accomplish so many different things. And I mean, they still call me to this day, and I mentor them on to the next level because they always want to try something new. Once they learn to get over that first hurdle, then there's no stopping them. So I'm super excited about women like her and just so many of them. And, they've become realtors. They've become, opened up shops for bakeries, just all kind of things. And that's simply because, I helped them with that transition of getting over their fears and going on to the next level and realizing their dreams.
And you yourself must have faced your fair share of challenges in business. So are there any particularly difficult moments that you've had and you've managed to overturn and maybe make it into an opportunity for growth?
Oh, absolutely. In the beginning, I started out trying to do taxes and, just not really knowing. And then I stopped doing them, and then I started teaching for a while. So I went to teach special education. And when I first just jumped out there, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't do this. Let me, go back to just working. So then, education, it was during a time when it was a lot of ups and downs in education in Texas. And so they was cutting salaries. There was just a lot going on. So then I jumped back out there again. And the second time it was not having any clientele, just starting with families, with friends, just, and they just said, okay, we'll support you. We'll do it. And it blossomed from there. So I started, even in real estate, I started doing that. And it was the early 2000s. And then what happened in 2008?
Oh, yes.
In 2008, we had a huge real estate crash. So that was like, oh my God, now I got to go back to work. So yeah, I've definitely had my challenges, but I was, I would keep getting back out there. I would run back to the safety net, and then I would go back out there again. And it's been in my favor. So I would tell anybody, just start. You will, and it's okay if you fail. Just don't stay in that place of falling, figure out how to move forward. So,
well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been fascinating to have you on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me today. It was a pleasure.